This week we talk about the Manosphere.
Oh, go!
Tell the others.
Run!
Tell
Tell the tape, run! Tell Andrew got an autism diagnosis.
the monkeysphere.
Travis the chimp, he lived with this lady and her husband, and he was the best little chimp. They loved him so much, they gave him everything. That he was like the HS Tiki-Talkie of monkeys. And squirrels. She's got a pet squirrel, and the
Yeah.
squirrel has something like 500 different outfits.
Wow.
And she dressed it up as...
What did you dress it up as?
It's like Gabriel, like that.
Ignore that feeling.
Did you watch the Manosphere thing on Netflix?
I did. I watched the full lot. I watched
I watched it 1.5 times.
You watched it 1.5 times?
Because I watched it the first time while I was getting ready to go out, and then I watched it again because I wanted my partner to see it, and he kept saying, these men just need a hug.
I
These poor
know.
men. But the maddest thing was all these Manosphere guys grew up without a dad, so I was like, how does that make you? How do you hate women when the person that loved and cared for you and
Yeah.
did everything for you was a woman?
Because they're around to, like, so we watched a Manosphere documentary, Louis Theroux's Manosphere documentary.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because they hate women because the potential of, they can't be mad at the potential of their dad. Like, the women actually did the work, and so you're like, I hate you because you're here and I can blame you for this. And the men, it's like, I can't quite see how tangibly you would have changed my life that much, so therefore I don't hate you.
Did you see the HS Tiki-Talkie when his mum turns up at the end?
She's the real villain of the documentary. That's my view on it.
I thought, because when they first described her, I
Yeah.
thought, God, she sounds great. And he was saying my mum's not sexist or homophobic or racist.
Yeah.
And she worked 6 days a week to put him through private school.
Yeah.
It must have been a cheap one. It must have been one of those ones that's like, like
And it
like
was
an
so-
Essex private school
It
or
was
something.
his accent was incredible because, like,
Yeah, I
I could
didn't-
tell he went to private school by his accent because he was doing, he's talking like that.
Really?
Yeah, he was trying to do. It's like that Guy Ritchie private school accent that they do.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a lot of these men who talk like they're speaking to taxi drivers a lot in their in their real life. But yeah,
But then at the end, his mum turns up in the documentary, and she was very sort of tacky Dubai person. She had the turkey teeth and platinum hair,
Yeah.
and
she looked like my mum if my mum had money.
I think
You know what I mean?
he's the son's paying for her teeth or something. But then, at the end, he says, "I don't want a ginger shot, mummy."
I know.
Do you remember that?
I remember
It's just
that.
like, come on, Harrison, we have to clean up. So I looked at his Instagram, and it's just all women saying, I don't want a juice, mummy.
Oh,
I
that's
don't want my
wonderful.
ginger shot, mummy.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I do feel like number one HS Tiki-Talkie sounds like a boat competition name, doesn't it? I'm on the HS Tiki-Talkie.
Yeah.
And he seems. Also, do you know the bit where he's receiving a blowjob off someone and
Yeah.
Louis Theroux goes, did she know she was being filmed? He got so pissed off over that.
Yeah.
HS Tiki-Talkie. I wonder, did she know? You know?
Well, do you think...
She just did it for clout. What's clout? What is clout?
and also we got so annoyed at being compared to Bonnie Blue, and I thought,
know.
it's so obvious that you're the same.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm pissed off he pissed her off as well. I've never seen Bonnie Blue angry and leaving an interview before.
Oh, I mean, I was angry on her behalf, even though
Yeah.
I don't love Bonnie Blue. When
You love her skin.
No, he just rolled out the usual, what do your parents think about this? Like, we don't all go around doing stuff for our parents. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's such an old-fashioned thing to ask. But I thought it was odd that him as a 23-year-old was saying, my kids will never have to do anything like this. Because when I was 23, I was like, where can we get MDMA from that isn't
know.
cut with plant fertilizer? That's what you should be saying at that age, not like, I want to make $1 million.
For my children. Yeah.
Yeah.
And because
Very traditional.
and it seems like I don't think his life is nice. I don't think it's a nice life to live for himself.
I don't think
And
he
he's-
owns his. I think a lot of those guys don't own their property or cars. I
No.
think it's all rented.
Definitely. And it's that's not a nice way. Like, I can't actively be a good life, but yet they're sacrificing their happiness in life for their future children, which seems very trad and very. Why can't they just be stoic about it?
Yeah.
Why can't they be like the generations before, where they're like, yeah, I'm gonna have a shit life. I'm gonna give myself popcorn lung by staying down this mine and destroying my back. But maybe my child might be an artist when they're older. Like, what does he actually want for his kids? He doesn't want his kids to be gay and a
Or
girl-
sluts.
Our sluts. Yeah, the two genders.
And there's only two.
Yeah, there's only two, as we know.
Because remember, there was that guy in it who was saying, you know, through Trump, we've managed to get laws put in place that makes people understand there's only two genders.
Well, yeah,
And then he converted to Islam.
I know.
And he was going around just saying, like, do you see there's one-eyed satanic symbolism everywhere? And it says in the Quran that in the end times, women will be women will be naked,
They'll be
but seem clothed. And you're just cherry picking the most misogynist parts.
But that's what a lot of people who find religion, like Russell Brand or whatever, it's no different.
Yeah.
They're just cherry picking from whatever religious book there is
couldn't
to go
believe-
like women are whores. Do you know what I mean? It's never cherry picking.
Russell Brand.
No one becomes a born again Christian. Is like, we should all be nice to each other.
Yeah, Russell Brand turning
Yeah.
up to court with his sticky notes coming out the Bible.
I
That was
know.
unbelievable.
I know. But I think that comes from like, because
It's just so studied, as if he's read it.
before Christianity, he was really into you knowing that he read books. And I feel like this just comes from, I just need you to know I've read one book, and that book being the Bible.
holiest.
The holiest of books.
the holiest of the books.
I felt I watched it, and do you remember you WhatsApped me last night?
I said to Alison, as homework, please watch the Manosphere documentary. And then she sent me a clip of a comedian in a fight.
Yeah.
And she said, I felt too sad, so I had to watch this comedian get assaulted.
But
We really picked the right title for the podcast.
yeah.
Well, we were stuck on it for ages, and now I'm like, it's the fucking perfect title.
It is the perfect title. So I had to take a break from watching the Manosphere documentary. Specifically, it was the guy from Fresh and Fit. I can't remember his name.
I know. Was his name like Manon or
I don't know. Some
something?
absolute sauceless man.
The bit where he got women on and he was like, "You're fat, get out of my studio."
That's specifically where I went to look at my phone. He's like, "You're worthless, get out."
And yet again, it's like that thing I said of getting OnlyFans girls on to humiliate them.
Yeah.
Which doesn't just happen in the Manosphere. It happens on tons of male comedians' podcasts.
Yeah.
There's a OnlyFans girl we both started following her because
Rebecca Goodwin.
Yeah, because these guys got her on just to humiliate her.
Shout out to Rebecca. Yeah, and the problem, the annoying thing is, like, Rebecca is a gift to have on any podcast. You don't have to just, like, because I've watched her on stuff and I've just really enjoyed the way that she's able to chat, because she's working class, she's self-aware. She just chats about, and she's really funny.
Yeah.
And these people just get her on, and then they're like, "Come on our podcast. I would have you on," and not go on about, like, they just want to go like, "How many loads have you taken?" It's like, tell me about the quality of the load, Rebecca, because you seem really fun and able to describe. You know what I mean?
But often
Like-
the male comedians that get OnlyFans women on are also people that would never have a female comedian on a lineup or on their podcast.
Yeah.
It just says a lot.
If you have more,
that you see women as cum receptacles.
cum receptacles that can be funny sometimes, rather than funny people who can take cum sometimes. Like, that should be the. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be fully sexless.
Did you? There was a couple of guys in the Manosphere thing that I thought were dafties.
Most of them, even the paedophile hunters, which you would think,
Well,
on that side.
There was one that was called like Ed Matthews.
Yeah.
He was he wasn't right.
No, I mean, like,
He just would have been called not right when I was growing up.
Yeah.
He was daft.
when you get if you think about the people that you went to secondary school with that now have access to smartphones, and you're like, this is the yeah, there was a lot of people. There was a lot of very sauceless men, and I know. Look, I'm a fat comedian of pink hair. If you're watching this and you're like, oh, that's easy, but they were, and I felt so bad that there was a lack of like charisma, because I thought these men would be way more charismatic. I was like, if you're gonna put a human being into a pipeline that drives him into having a far worser life than they have at the moment, you'd surely need to be charismatic. They're not. A lot of these, like HS Tiki Tucky, if he was on Love Island, he'd be kicked out in the second week.
Do you think?
He's not. There's no sauce. There's no humor. There's no, like, it's just him spouting out stuff going, if I had a guy's son, I'd disown him. And it's like, wow, okay.
When he kept saying to Louis Theroux, what about Jimmy Savile? What about Jimmy Savile? I was like, these people aren't even, they're so young that they won't even remember the Jimmy Savile stuff.
But there's men in my life who say that about Keir Starmer, and I'm like, there's far worse things about Keir Starmer than he let Jimmy Savile off or whatever. You know, like Jimmy Savile is just thrown into people. I
think Keir Starmer's disregard for human rights after being like one of the top human rights lawyers is
big time.
That's more crazy.
Exactly, but people who don't have that knowledge or the intellectual curiosity will just throw Jimmy Savile into his face. When I'm like, Keir Starmer has destroyed the Labour Party and the idea of the social.
I was quite intrigued that a lot of them were into being paedophile hunters as well, because I thought, well, you know, feminists are against pedos too.
I know, but
can't we unite on this? And lots of them had a conspiracy theory that there was a shady international cabal conspiring against everyone, or the daft one believed in aliens, and you're like, but in the real what? But there is
a cabal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So go look to the Epstein and Prince Andrew and all these
taxing billionaires. They don't put it together.
Yeah.
Like the shady cabal that's keeping the working class down are billionaires, because they're hoarding money. So there's only so much money to go around. Like, it is being lost in the working classes. But they never want to tax billionaires, or they never look at Dubai. Like, Dubai is like such a great example of the world, because you can get really, really incredible treatment. Like, if you're middle class or you're not that rich, you can go to Dubai and have a taste of the high life.
That is why people like going there.
It is
I
why
think we said this.
They like gold gilded stuff, but there are people that have been trafficked there and they're worth more to their families by killing themselves.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that.
Bangladeshi workers.
And it's disgraceful, but that is the world on a whole. And we're disgusted at Dubai. That's the world. And it's disgusting that, like, people want to go, oh, leave billionaires alone. It's like, billionaires really shouldn't exist. They shouldn't.
Yeah.
And but these HS tickets, these poor lads. Do you remember the lads getting interviewed in the Manosphere thing, and they're just fans of
the ones where he was saying we don't believe in depression, and then they're like, how did your brother die? And he went, he killed himself. He mysteriously.
Sorry,
but that was like unbelievable.
Or they talk about how women have an inherent worth, and that if you're incredibly beautiful, you can be brought on a yacht.
That was the bit that sent me over the edge.
Yeah.
Where he was like, what are you talking about? You got vagina and titties. You're beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
No, he said you have worth from having a vag.
A vag and titties.
It's like, people still abort female babies in some countries, have selective abortions.
Yeah.
What are you on about?
And it kind of reminded me of, I saw this advert for OnlyFans that was saying it was a reel that came up going, you should join OnlyFans. Here are people that have been on OnlyFans that lives have been better, and it's a lot of beautiful women or beautiful men going, I've been able to help my mother. I've bought my mother a house from OnlyFans, but they're all beautiful people that are able to give testimony that OnlyFans have changed their lives. I'd like to see an Ugo in this on OnlyFans that have been like, this has changed my life. I can help my family. It's like where these incel men just presume that all women have worth because they have a vagina, or because they have tits, or because they can do makeup or whatever.
Yeah.
That they hate women because of that. But also they hate ugly women. So where's the
These men, though, I find they always, because I saw, I didn't find it shocking because I've met a lot of guys like that in comedy.
yeah.
And the funny thing is they always end up being the most into their wives. They have the most traditional marriages, and they seem to get a lot in terms of emotional labor from their wives.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the confusing thing. By the way, there was a bit in that program where HS Tiki Talkie had a woman.
I just love saying the words. Just a mouthfeel of HS Tiki Talkie. Just say it if you're listening at home. Just say HS Tiki Talkie.
1, 2, 3.
HS Tiki Talkie. Yeah, imagine fearing someone called that.
But there's a bit where he's sitting with another OnlyFans girl with duck lips, and she got big on OnlyFans because she was known as the sexy plasterer.
Yeah.
And then when I was watching that with my partner, he went, "Oh," and I went, "What?" And he went, "It's just great she got a trade." And I said, and yet she still had to go on OnlyFans. This is how fucked social mobility is in the UK, or any chance of improving your lot. And it doesn't matter. The government went on and on about don't get people to go to uni, get people to get a trade, and you still got to get your arse out.
Yeah, or marry someone who also has a trade. Like, you can't support. I know I've said this on the pod before again, but like, the social contract should be you get a trade and you're able to buy a house and then have a partner at home if they choose to be at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then two of you getting jobs, paying out of your arse for childcare because there's no free childcare, and not being able to get a mortgage and constantly renting. Like, it's just like, it is sad. But isn't it sad that the Manosphere exists, that HS Tiki Talkie, who went to private school, has to demean himself by encouraging 13-year-old boys to do cryptocurrency and receiving blowjobs on live. Like, that can't be it. That's not a dignified life. It's as dignified as Bonnie Blue. He's bringing his mother as much happiness. Like, you know, people should be going to HS Tiki Talkie all the time. Like, how do you feel about demeaning yourself? You got a private education and this is what you've done with this.
Yeah, it made me think she probably sent him to private school. Sometimes people do that because they think my kid has certain needs and they're not going to be accommodated.
Well, they weren't accommodated. It's a bad indictment of private school.
Who else was in it? What about the Louisiana steel magnate?
And his wife?
He wasn't too awful.
No.
If I was to do my, like...
He's the least awful.
Yeah.
And probably the most traumatized. If you looked at, like, they were going into his life and his mum seemed chaotic. If I had to look at stuff, I'm like, of all of them,
he was the most sympathetic one.
Absolutely.
Even though he was friends with the Tate brothers.
Exactly.
I'm only saying in the context of, like, the order in which I would shoot them.
Yeah. He would be like,
I say to him, go.
Tell the others.
Run.
Tell
the Tate brother. Tell Andrew I got an autism diagnosis. Andrew Tate adopted a dog.
Is this going to be more of...
No, he didn't adopt a dog.
What?
Sorry. Andrew Tate tried to adopt that little monkey in Japan.
Punch.
Yeah, Punch the macaque.
Yeah, because he's on his own. It's Punch on his own. And then he's like...
Because Punch just had a cloth mother, Andrew Tate was like, me and my brother will buy him. And it's like, now try that with women. But I just
what kind of life do you have to offer? You're on the run for sex trafficking, and you're like, I can give this macaque a safe and stable home. I hope it rips off his face. I hope it rips off his scalp and his sunglasses.
Oh, did you ever remember when we were on tour and I mentioned that chimp documentary pretty much every day?
Yeah. I remember that.
What's it called? Is
Monkey
it called,
Madness? No. Chimp Crazy.
Chimp Heaven.
Chimp Heaven. That's where all the people go who have adopted chimps and have the chimps
their faces ripped off.
They go to Chimp Heaven. My favorite bit of that documentary was that woman. She got interviewed on Up, so a woman got her face ripped off by a chimp, and it was very sad.
It was right. So this documentary, if you've got Now TV, we're actually not sponsored by Now TV. That's the rest is entertainment. Like for $9.99 a month, you can watch what I think is called Chimp Crazy.
It's Chimp Crazy,
and it's an HBO documentary. It's amazing.
It's incredible.
It feels like watching an alternate, like another life that I could have had.
Yeah, that you could have. Yeah, I know.
It's basically American women who treat monkeys like they're their babies.
Yeah.
And the bad thing is these people live in these huge ranches with so much land.
Yeah.
But they're always so mental that you can't conceive of them having a job or...
Oh, you're like, how did they get the funds to provide for this monkey?
Yeah, because monkeys don't come cheap.
No.
I'll tell you that.
I Googled it.
And also, their little outfits you don't have to get from a specialist monkey retailer.
Monkey clothes are us or whatever.
I actually just saw a similar thing where this fucking lunatic in America, she's got a pet squirrel. And the squirrel has something like 500 different outfits.
Wow.
And she dressed it up as...
What did she dress it up as? What did she...
I was like Abraham Lincoln. She dressed the monkey up as a president. Squirrel.
Because a monkey I can understand. A squirrel. A
squirrel.
A big hat. So it's got a big hat.
It wasn't Abe Lincoln because she stages little scenarios with a squirrel.
Little scenario.
And basically she had this presidential inauguration. To be fair, with all this going on with Trump and stuff, you would just wanted to treat it in a sort of safe squirrel world.
I don't know how safe Abraham Lincoln is.
So basically, she showed the squirrel pulling up to like a tiny White House she'd built for it. And I just couldn't, because she showed like the rails, the clothing, the outfits that the squirrel had. And you're just going, how is she not in the streets just yelling through a traffic cone? Because she
must have
bananas.
loads of money. She must have invested in Facebook early on or something, or invented PayPal or something like that.
Yeah.
You see, this is the life that Elon Musk could have if he just had the bravery.
Yeah, did you see? What's her name? I think it's Joyce Carol Oates.
Oh, yeah, she killed him.
A sick burn to Elon Musk, where she just was like, "This man has so little imagination." She was like, "You could do anything. There's so many brilliant things he could do.
Yeah,
and he's just so limited.
He's so limited. If money was no object and mental health was no object either." What kind of hobby would you
monkeys.
Get into? It would be monkeys. It would be monkeys. It would. I'd have monkeys, and I'd have like a little sedation gun for when it does turn, because it does apparently when it hits. You'd have to have in case of middle age break glass here, because the monkey hits middle age, and that's when it becomes teary off face.
The other thing I'd do is I would have a brunch cafe, but because no, with humans, it would be a coffee shop that does tasty brunches, but because I hate customer service, or like if my customers were like, "Oh, why is there no syrup in my coffee?" I would pay to have people come and pretend to be my customers. Because I think I wouldn't get good ratings otherwise.
No, that would be beautiful. What would you serve at your brunch cafe?
Poached eggs.
Yeah.
Not so that the white of the egg is raw, and not so the egg is like disgusting and raw.
Yeah.
Sourdough that is actual sourdough rather than just you lying to my face. thing. Just going, here's some bread that I've called sourdough.
I know you'd want it really toasted as well. Like, I feel like
Yeah, that
that's
was
a big conversation thing.
Well, you're about to go to Australia and you're going to learn that breakfast can be elevated.
I'm so
Breakfast
excited.
can be an art. You got to go to this place. I put it on the list. It's in Melbourne. 7 Seeds in Carlton.
Seeds. Yeah.
Every time I get to Australia, I go and I have it's a roti with a chili scramble, and it's like scrambled. It's not scrambled eggs. It's like eggs where they've swirled a chopstick through it, and then they put chili crunch over the top.
Oh,
chopped
wow.
coriander.
That sounds amazing. I love
Amazing.
my favorite thing on a breakfast. This will go against. I don't think you'd agree with this, but I've been having chats with people about it. I really like tinned tomatoes as an element of like a fry. I know, you poor thing. I can see your face change. But
This is like when you loved that bread with tomatoes in Spain, and I was like,
I love it.
you're basic.
Pan con tomate, whatever it's called. I love it. I am so basic, but I love. So I think it's because my dad is English, and the inspiration, like, and my sisters who are really Irish, they always eat tomatoes, but tinned tomatoes with Worcester sauce in it, and we cook it up and that's our big like Spittle thing.
Oh, that's nice.
With like sausages and bacon and stuff like that. So if I had a cafe, I would elevate like tinned tomatoes and half tomatoes and make that the star of the fry up. You know?
What would I have? I would have. So firstly, you see this in a lot of the Aussie menus. You have eggs done any way that you ask.
That's cool.
With toast. And then you have a range of add-ons so that you don't have to get a full fry. But you can, if you want, add the bacon, sausages, mushrooms, beans, tomatoes, or just have eggs with avocado and halloumi. So I'd have that first. I'd have a good porridge with a range of seasonal fruit.
Because I stayed at yours and I ate your
yours a fancy little porridge,
and I put like figs in it and stuff. And I tried to read the back of the box because I was like, I want to do it the way you would do it. So I
don't do it that way every day. But there's cafes I've gone to in Glasgow where they have really nice porridge. Yeah.
So what if you're doing it in a you're selling it to the public? What's the seasonal
chunky oats? Yeah, seasonal fruit. Like you'd have some stewed or rhubarb, or rhubarb can be divisive, or like some pears or a little berry compote.
I ate 4 figs because I bought figs and I was only staying in a place overnight. Do not eat 4 figs.
Alison.
I know, my gut microbiome. I destroyed Jade Adams doing it.
Yeah, so I love figs.
Yeah.
And I got a bag of them. I need to stop doing this. I got a bag of them the other day.
Yeah.
And I had about 10 figs in a night. And I thought I was going to shit myself at Parkrun.
I know. I felt like a medieval king that had destroyed myself. But, didn't a medieval king die? I think it was Richard III. He ate a bushel of either peaches or apricots and shot himself to death.
Whoa!
Yeah, one of the kings ate a bushel.
I wouldn't mind that in terms of out of like all the
how
deaths.
to die.
Yeah.
Oh,
monkey death is the worst.
What would you rather die monkey death for? Because
if it was your pet monkey that you'd always loved,
it's the betrayal.
But you know Travis the monkey,
who he ripped off the face of the woman.
He was like the famous monkey chimpanzee. Sorry,
who are you apologizing to?
People know what you mean.
Yeah,
right. Travis the chimp, he lived with this lady and her husband, and he was the best little chimp. They loved him so much. They gave him everything. He was like the HS Tiki Talkie of monkeys. They gave him everything.
Yeah.
And then his human father died, right? And the monkey went into mourning and was carrying around a little framed picture of the dad, like, ooh, ooh, ooh. All sad. And he was taking Xanax, right? They gave the chimp Xanax. And he would apparently just watch daytime TV, go back and forth to the fridge and just drink like sweet iced tea, eat like Pringles and human junk food.
Yeah.
And it's not good. It's not good for any of our mental health.
Yeah, watching Chimp Crazy, watching them feed the monkeys a Happy Meal. I was watching that, and this is when I was on the pens, and I was like, I cannot. If I'm going, please don't feed the monkey that food. Why am I doing that to myself? Do you know what I mean? It made me realize about nutrition. I was like, treat myself like the baby monkey that I am.
Yeah,
and I could rip my own
they
face.
need cut up fruit and stuff.
Yeah, my sister, my sister's dog died. R.I.P. Rio. Love you.
I'm sorry about that.
It was so sad, but he'd be put down. But they brought him out for a big walk with all his other dog cousins. So that's all my sister's other dogs. And they fed him chicken nuggets as his last meal. And I'm like, that's mad. That's mad.
Really?
Yeah, they did.
No, sorry, I don't think that's mad. I love reading about dogs' final meals where I've read about dogs just getting like a plate of sausages as their final meal. Or even getting given chocolate or things that would have made them sick just because they're going to die anyway.
Yeah, I suppose like just feed your dog a load of grapes or something.
Yeah.
But what you were saying, I totally...
Oh, so Travis, the chimp, was walking around with this framed picture of his dad and just eating junk and taking Xanax. And Xanax, when you give it to chimps, has the opposite effect on humans. So you can go into a rage. And then Travis's human mum had a friend called Charla Nash.
Yeah.
She came over to visit. She'd always got on with him. And she'd brought him a Cuddle Me Elmo toy. And basically he saw it and he was just like, fuck it, enough.
I'm done, yeah.
And went mental and ripped her face off.
Ripped her face off. And then she had to go on Oprah. Do you remember the interview? Oprah's such a... Anyway.
Oprah's side and things, I think.
Oprah's terrible. Because like the woman had like a...
The woman had like a beekeeping outfit on, basically.
Because she had her face ripped off, and that's what she wants. Like, you know?
Thank God she went blind, because you just wouldn't want to see that. But Oprah, I thought, was quite patronising. They brought her on, and Oprah's like, "How is Carla?" And she's like, she's no fucking mouth or anything, really.
My favourite thing that Carla said, though, and I feel like this is the most, she goes, Travis really did a number on me. And I'm like, yeah, he did, yeah. He really did a number on you.
That's an understatement.
That's what I would say if I had my face ripped off by a chimp. I'd be like, yeah, he really did a number on me.
But then the woman who owned the monkey, because she was obviously upset that her friend had that happen.
And Travis got killed. Travis had to get...
Oh my God, the bit where the cop is talking about Travis... he said Travis came over to the car. Well, he said the monkey, quite disrespectfully. And he said there was blood dripping from his teeth. And he said, I swear to God, that monkey looked me in the eye. And something, I just could tell through telepathy, the monkey said, just kill me. And he shot him, and Travis then like went ooh, 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 and crawled to his enclosure.
Yeah.
And died.
It's a great documentary.
It'd be such a good film. Like, you could have Timothy Chalamet or someone play Travis.
Play Travis. He'd finally get that Oscar.
Yeah. By the way, why is everyone raging at him? Every week there's like a new bit of rage on Instagram, and I saw everyone raging at Timothy Chalamet.
I think it's because he's so well liked. They tried to rage at Jessie Buckley as well.
She's an angel.
She's an angel.
I love her crooked little smile.
I think like there's a thing of with Travis or with anyone, they do say like when someone is so beloved, I am
with
so
Timothy.
Yeah, that
you said Travis.
Did I?
He was beloved.
We all know what Travis's downfall was, and that was ripping off the face of a woman. If Timothy did that, I don't think he'd get as much hate as what he's done. Which is
didn't he just say he didn't like the ballet?
He tried to say no one's paying for ballet. It was that kind of like young. It's that young lad's opinion where you're like, I'll give it a hot take. And I kind of like it when actors take risks in their interviews.
Yeah, do people want everyone to be media trained to within an inch of their lives?
Because it happened with Jennifer, what's her name? She won an Oscar.
Lawrence.
Yeah. Jennifer Lawrence she was on the Graham Norton show, and she told this anecdote about like disrespecting an ancient Hawaiian. There was a thing of she was being like, I was being silly and I disrespected this thing, and people are like, how dare you? And it's like, do you want do you want them all to be highly the way that actors have to promote their films now? It saddens me. They have to eat chicken wings and stuff.
That doesn't sound awful.
Well,
They're hungry.
yeah, but they have to eat. They have to pretend that they eat food and
Yeah.
then get interviewed and go chicken wings and stuff. And it's like, it is better than give me a highly rehearsed anecdote. And the way that the way that people have to promote stuff is so hard. And like there's just so much content now and so many
that's what
hours of
I
it.
find boring. I just feel every week there's a new thing people are angry about, and it gets more and more trivial. And then the Timothy, I don't like Timothy Chalamet, but I don't care.
Yeah.
And I saw that, you know, that gay guy that has his nails and eye makeup so nice. And
Oh yeah,
Matt.
Yeah.
He put, well, I went to the ballet and it was very good. Like, it was so impressive. Like, people generally don't shell out to go to ballet and opera.
No.
But also, it just isn't like we're in World War III and people are raging about these like little talking points that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's easier though to focus on the little talking points than it is to focus on not only this war that's happening right now. It's going to affect. So as a comedian and doing touring and stuff, and you're like, I'm so aware of the cost of living crisis. So the people that come to see me on tour, I'm like, wow, because that is a big decision that they've had to do.
Yeah.
And like, it's going to get even worse because the price of petrol is going up. Not to be all, but the price of petrol is going up. The price of flights are going to go up. Everything is going to get way more expensive nowadays. And it's not gonna whatever spare money you had now, you're not gonna have it in 6 months, and that's kind of. So I think it's easier to focus on the Timmy Chalamets of it all. He's right about people. People aren't going to be able to fork out. People are just going to listen to podcasts. Like that's going to be the nearest bit to culture. And thank you so much for being a listener to this podcast.
Well, my final thoughts on the Manosphere is that I'd always naively thought that progress was linear, and I now realise I'm gonna be beaten to death by a schoolboy.
I know.
For being an old woman.
I'm so afraid of I'm so afraid of the Manosphere. I'm so sad for the Manosphere. The other thing is like men like to talk. The people who are involved in the Manosphere like to talk about the value of a woman. You know, to be a high value woman. Or when men get really sad when they get bald because they're like, oh my pool of women is going to be so much more less or whatever. But they should you should just accept that you're going to go out with an uglier woman and be happy because ugly women are class. They're such good partners. And ugly men are class partners. Why are we like so het up on like the value of our partners when you could just be happy? Like
I think our society's become more narcissistic
But it's
as a whole in the last 50 years. So your partner's a projection of your own ideals or a projection of your own worth.
Because a partner should be like someone you enjoy the company of that you like fucking. And isn't that a joy? Do you know what I mean? Just imagine fucking someone and then talking about whatever went on that day and enjoying their company. And it's, you don't have to be like looking at something and then going, this is what's valuable to me.
Do you think any of those men make women come?
No, they do not. And they don't. They don't care. I think they do it as a point of pride. There are men who just like will not go down on a woman. Or there's so many of them. It's not about making people come to them. It's about them coming. But then it's just like, use your hand.
But then even Bonnie Blue, I've always found her porn so disappointing because it's just her giving blowies and she never comes in it.
Yeah, that is sad. Because it's like,
that's the saddest thing about her work to me.
Is that she
other than the fucking stuff we saw in the documentary.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah.
Making someone come should be like playing a good game of Jenga. Like you should take pride in. It's difficult to do. It can be difficult to do to make someone come. So like when you do it, it should be like, and this one same for a man, it should be like, this is a joyous activity that you've both done an achievement in, and you've made someone a bit happier, but also you've done some good quality work. Hey, thank you. Thank you so much for watching this podcast on YouTube. I'm being sincere. Back to you. Thank you, mate. You're really helping so much. You know what will help a little bit more though?
If you smash the subscribe button, get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you. You can message us on WhatsApp. I think the WhatsApp number is here somewhere on the screen.
Or email us at ignorethatfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Thank you. See you next week.